Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS, the interview. And today, me and my special guest, Pete Johns, are going to ask you, are you ready for SONGTEMBER 2024? And we're going to kick it off by playing Pete's song from last year called Choices. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Jade and this is the interview. Well, it's a special event show. You're doing good out there. Everyone doing okay. I'm on top of the world. I'm excited because I've got my good friend on here. Let's just bring him on. That was Pete Johns. That's Choices, and we're going to bring him straight on to the show, get him in here. Boom! Pete, what's going on?
Hello, hello, hello. That's an angry young man that wrote that song last year. What was going on in my life? Jeez.
Dude, I was thinking through that. That was one of the most complex drumming tracks I've ever had to do. So thank you. You really put me to the test last year.
Yeah, what was it? 4 different time signatures in the end that we managed to have in there, including some 7/8 and some 5/8 times. So yeah, it was a fun one to do, and yeah, I still stand by that. That like, why do you care what they think of your choices in life? Yeah, that was an anthem to all the dickheads out there that we all deal with on the daily. Except as I was saying in the pre-show, except that I'm so oblivious these days that I don't even know if people are criticizing me.
So yeah, we were saying this before. So I've become quite soft lately, and you've become hard.
Yeah, no, I was telling Jade about my frustrations with the new LumaFusion because they fixed like most things, and I always warn you guys of this. But yeah, don't change anything just before you're about to do something important. And unfortunately, I updated my LumaFusion yesterday, and then realized that there was a bug in there that was causing me to pull my hair out, and I don't have a lot of that to do. So yeah, I was getting all frustrated, but I managed to recover, and now we're ready to go because it's Songtember. It's the most exciting time of the year. It's our
Oh,
Christmas.
I know. I've been, it's been weird because since I've had massive changes here on the channel and doing pre-recorded demos now, I have all these shows each morning that I'm just making music, and I have like 4 songs about to be released. Like finished Adam Bursa's song yesterday.
Yep.
Mateus's, I'm doing another song with Mateus. That's going to be ready this weekend. I've got a whole album I've finished, and I'm just waiting to release that. I'm going to release probably about 6 things in Songtember, but they're not Songtember things. So,
Yeah, you are clearly not the target audience for Songtember. Then I was thinking about
no.
this actually, well, as I was preparing this morning, it's morning time, Friday morning here in Australia, and I got up this morning and I'm thinking about it, going, who is Songtember actually for? And I remembered previous years because I've just put up the Songtember YML link, and I remember last year on the 2nd of September, I got someone like emailing me going, "Oh yeah, bro, I just finished my Songtember song. Where do I submit it?" And I was like, okay, that's fine, but I think you might have missed the point. I think what I was thinking about is for some people, Songtember is an opportunity to speed up and actually get a whole song done in a
Yeah.
month. And for other people, I think it's actually the opposite. It's an opportunity to slow down. I know we've talked about this umpteen times every time I come on the show, but I think sometimes there's this drive for quantity, and I think for Songtember, maybe just stop and think and take some time and try some different ideas. Because, yeah, the first thing you do may be the best thing. And I'm all for like song in a day stuff because sometimes you're just in the zone and it happens. So I'm not saying don't do that. But sometimes you can actually really benefit from just taking a breath, trying some different ideas, really workshopping and mixing something, doing the whole car listen or the Bluetooth speaker listen and the stuff we did back in the day. And you get such a good finished product that way. And as I looked back on the 5 songs I did over Songtember, I don't love all of them. And so the
True.
earlier ones, I was like, I could have done more with this. But I remembered the process. And I think, without getting all wanky and woo woo about it, the journey is sometimes just as important as the end result. And getting the other thing is sharing with the community and getting the feedback throughout the month is such a cool thing because we'll have blind spots and things that you don't know about. And I can't really say that in 2 days you're going to get a song that's going to be the best that you can do and the best that you can put out there. So
Have
anyway,
you
I know we're
been
jumping the gun.
have you been thinking about ideas yourself? Or are you running? Because I normally a week before start running ideas, and I had planned months before to do a new Metheist EP because a lot of people want it. And I've had a lot of people ask, and I kind of primed up Cold Acre, who's here in the chat, ready for it. And then I was like, you know what? I've just done a whole bunch of metal. I'm really just not up for it. So I was like, what can I do? And I'm writing a jazz song this year
Mm,
with I'm doing a collaboration with an amazing singer, and I'm writing a smoky jazz club song. Yeah,
I'm getting ready. Doom, doom, doom,
why
doom,
not?
doom, doom, doom. Yeah. Look, and yeah, to answer your question, I don't know. And we will, by the way, for anyone that's watching this, I know we've just assumed you know what Songtember is and what it's all about. I'm sure Jade will ask me a bunch of questions later, but let's just assume you know what this is all about. Yeah, this year I'm kind of thinking, last year I had 4 different ideas from my voice memos. If you remember, in the first couple of days,
Yes.
I sort of shared them and started vaguely workshopping them and then put them out to a vote. So that kind of worked well because I think we found the best song. And again, my blind spot was, hey, I really like this song here, this sort of punky one. And people are like, nah, dude, you got to do that one with the riff. And I did, and it worked out really
Yeah.
well. So I'm kind of this year with Songtember, I'm borrowing from what a lot of people are doing with live streaming, which is like their office hours live stream. But I'm going to do some studio hours, so it's going to be a little bit more over the shoulder and just me messing around and finding ideas like I do off camera, but doing it on camera, except I'll have pants on, so it won't be quite as inappropriate. And
Mm,
then just see what ideas we can come up with, like from the blank slate stuff. And for those that caught today's podcast, I did sort of the pre Songtember show today, which was the ideas for how to spark that. And there's so many different ways that you can sort of spark a song, whether it's the just grabbing an instrument you don't usually use, or grabbing a random drum loop and just sort of workshopping that, the do-do-dos and the da-da-das. So yeah, I really wanted to just give back and give folks some ideas of how they might come across. 'Cause I think it's one of the hardest things is to decide what you
yes.
actually want to do. And the other thing is, don't be afraid of false starts. Like a couple of years ago, I got about 7 days in and I was doing a song that was going to be like a funky kind of jazzy song. And I'm like, nah, this needs to be rock and roll, and changed it up. So that's the other benefit of having 30 days. If you're usually a quick, do a song in a day or a couple of days kind of person, maybe just give it time to breathe, and then give it a day and then come back and go, actually, I reckon this could be better if I did as something completely different. And then sharing it with the community as we do on the Discords and the Facebook groups and Slaps and all the places as you're going through the month can generate lots of really good feedback. So I don't know. I'm a fan of this whole Songtember caper.
Yeah, so am I. I love it. It is Christmas for us. I hate Christmas normally, the real Christmas. This is the better Christmas because it's music. All right, let's
Yeah.
say hello to folks who are here in the chat, and
Yes.
then we'll
Hello.
get down to me grilling you about this silly little thing called Songtember. We got our
Mm.
moderator with the mostest who's slinging links. He's the best. He had
Woo.
150 episodes yesterday, and I swear to God, I needed that show yesterday because I dismantled my entire studio. I stripped everything. I pulled every plug out. I moved everything into another room, and I just had a white desk. And I had you rock running in the background, and I was rocking all the way out. Thomas, thank you for such a great show yesterday. And for once, I was like, I'm so glad this is going for 18 hours because it's taking me that long to rip apart this studio and rebuild it. But and it came up good. So thank you, Thomas. As always, you do so much for both me and Pete and so many others around the community. Tremor Bear, SM Borthwick always writes some great stuff over Songtember. Hugh Caldwell, good to see you back playing. Hopefully your hands are getting better. Zach Thong's in the house. We got Joe,
Back.
Glenn. We got Mateus, who have just about finished his song. We got Audible Video, who amazingly might actually release a song this year. How good would that be? That would be amazing.
That's down. Jeez.
Oh,
Woo.
E. Irvin, what's going on? Herbs, Cold Acres in the house. He just dropped a killer song yesterday. What a beautiful song that was. Cold Acre, dude, as your friend, I'm so impressed, man, by, you're just amazing, all right? Even though off camera you're an asshole, that's a different story. Girlfriend in Your Luggage. So hopefully we'll get a song from Girlfriend in Your Luggage, aka Greg O'Sullivan.
You just outed
Yeah,
Greg.
everyone knows. Everyone knows. Did I say hi to Tremor Bear? Mark Bro.
Bro.
Oh, Greg's here as well. Too. Oh, look, there he is.
You're
Oops.
gonna get so you get an extra view. There you go. That's,
I
that's the way to help
know.
us out, Greg.
I'm
You're watching on
doubling
two
up.
different accounts, and will help
Covered
us.
by CQ. Hello to you. Who else have I missed? Anyone? I'm scrolling up and trying to get you off. I've missed you. Just yell out in the chat. Hey, dickhead. And I'll respond. I always respond to hey, dickheads. So, all right. So, welcome and thanks for hanging out today. So, what we're going to do today, I'm going to grill Pete, ask him some questions about what is this Songtember thing, some advice and stuff, and we're going to play. Me and Pete have both selected a couple of songs each, and from last year's Songtember. So, don't get upset that we haven't picked your song.
Oh, there were 78 of them.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
it was
ridiculous.
ridiculous. I spent about an hour last night, and eventually I'm just like, oh, this and this, and I'm just going to upset 76 people in whatever I do.
So we just grabbed a couple of songs each, and I'll maybe have a little surprise one in the middle, and then we'll end on my song from Songtember. So nice bow. And let's start off by asking Pete, what the bloody hell is Songtember?
Songtember was something that came out of something I did back in 2018. I did a song in a month challenge. It was kind of the big thing at the time. I definitely didn't invent it. It wasn't my idea. So before people go, oh, you're trying to claim that. No, but people were doing it. People were doing song in an hour, song in a day, song in a month. I thought song in a month was cool. And the channel was very new at that stage. So we're only established in 2016. So in 2018, I hadn't done many songs. I'd done one EP and I wanted to do a new song. And I thought, why not? just document the whole process. So I did that, 20 videos over the month, and it was in April actually of 2018. So wasn't even September, and it went really well. And what I heard from a lot of people was that they wanted to do the same, and they were following along. It was never supposed to be a "Hey, you do this as well." But people were. They're like, "Hey, that's a really good idea. I want to do this." And I heard from so many folks that were like, "I've never been able to finish a song, and you actually inspired me to do that, to actually get a song done." And I thought, hey, there's something in this. So come the next year, I'm like, maybe we should do this whole song in a month challenge thing. And I thought, why don't I invite other people to do it as well, to try to get those people, the weekend warriors that are wanting to release music and wanting to create their own music, but don't think they have the time or don't think they have the know-how. So I will help them by giving them ideas about how to manage time, ideas about how to get motivated and start songwriting, ideas about the practical side of recording. How do we actually get it mixed? It's not actually that hard. It's just volumes going up and down at the end of the day. What is mastering, and what's the importance of that to your finished product? And how do I share it? How do I get it out there to the world? Do I put it out there to Spotify and Apple Music and all the places, or do I just want to put it onto my own YouTube channel or share it on Facebook in a private group or whatever it is? So really just wanted more people to create more music. And I thought, I'm not a pro at this by any stretch, but I've done it. And I think sometimes the best teachers, the best instructors are those that have just freshly done something. Because as soon as you get to the point where you're a professional and you've done it a bunch of times, it's hard to remember what it felt like. It's hard to just remember that absolutely heart pounding feeling of sharing your own work of art for the first time with other strangers, and that feeling of being judged, and that, oh, am I good enough? Is this good enough? And I just wanted to throw all of that out the window and say, it's all subjective. Anyone can do this, and the more music that's out there, the better. Everyone starts at zero. Your first song might not be great, but guess what? If you do it again and again and again, and that's probably been the most rewarding thing out of all of Songtember, is seeing people that have been with us for the last 5 years creating a song every year, and then lots of songs in between for many of them, but at very least a song every year. And you look at what they're doing now and where they came from, not only as a creator and as the actual music, but as a person. And I know I'm getting very woo woo and very deep
Yep,
and meaning
we love
start,
it.
but the personal growth that you can get by just having the confidence to say, I'm not alone, I can do this, and then the proof that you've actually got it done. So that's kind of the why, the how, and the what of Songtember. So we're doing it again, and we invite you to be part of it.
I love it so much, and I guess now it's a little bit easier. Like I said, for me, like each year, doing this, we struggle to find time to
Mm,
release music, and I get very
yep.
jealous. I must admit, I would see so many people release so much good music, and I think, oh man, I want to release music too, but this takes up so much time, you know.
Mm.
And there's only so many shows you can do showing the process of making music. I always get self-conscious about it too, and like, and things end up getting half finished, so it was always a good time for me to like get a song out. Problem was for me, Pete, I always go way too hard on Songtember. This year, no. But I say that
I'm
every
so,
fucking year, don't I?
yeah, I have to conscious, because right now I'm thinking, song in a month. I can crack out a song in like 3 days next week. It'll
Yeah.
be fine. And then maybe I'll do two songs, or maybe I'll then do a cover song, or maybe then I'll help someone with their song. And again, like at the risk of going down the whole like agile minimum viable product thing, but yeah, focusing on what is something that I know that I can get out in 30 days. And then if you have more time and if you have more ability to do things, then great. And you can do that. And you've proven that, and other people have proven that in previous years because they've gone on to work on other people's projects, or they've gone on to do multiple songs. And that's all cool. But yeah, I would argue that one polished finished song is better than five half finished songs. So if you bite off more than you can chew, sometimes you get to the end. And I did want to say, I know we'll cover this in sort of the rules and stuff later, but if you don't finish, guess what? There's zero consequence. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely sick of music competitions. The Voice started here in Australia again, and it just makes me want to dry reach every time I see that piece of crap come on TV, because it's making everyone feel bad. It is not,
Dong.
yeah, dong dong, and it's so hyped up and it's so ridiculously over the top, and it's four humans judging one human subjectively. At the end of the
Yeah,
day, that's
from one
all any of those
performance.
from one performance
Yeah.
where they'll probably, and they think it's their one shot. They think they're Eminem and it's Mum Spaghetti and it's their, we only got one shot, and it's all just complete manufactured bullshit. If you
Yeah.
don't, if you pardon my French, but some people love it and they create it, and hey, it is what it is, as we say. It's the commercialism of music and the music industry. But the sad thing is that people look at that and they're like, oh, music has to be a competition. Oh, music, you only got to be the best if you want to create music. Oh, I saw what those judges said. I saw that. Who's that dude? The British dude with all the bad. Like, yeah, anyway, Simon Cowell. I heard what Simon Cowell said
Dude, have you
about that
seen his
singer.
face?
I
Somebody
I don't
needs
know.
to
I
give
don't
him
think he knows where he put it.
man.
I think he left it somewhere about 10
Somebody,
years ago.
somebody needs to give him a score out of 10 for his plastic surgery, because man, that's a 2.
Yeah, so I
It's
know
bad.
we're going to go off on tangents, but
Yes.
hey, you'd expect nothing less with Jade and I getting together. But
So,
yeah, sorry.
so what? How do people get involved? Where do they pay the fee, and what contract do they have to sign?
Well, if you want to be a star, baby, I'm going to make you a star. No, there.
How do people get involved?
All right, studiolive today.com/songtember. It's all there. That's really all you need to know. So I wanted things to be simple, and I wanted a one-stop shop because I didn't want people to have to jump all over the place and find different things. So if you go to studiolive today.com/songtember, at the very top of that page will be the link to the channel and the latest videos. So the link to that is the videos that we're doing here today, and there's a playlist there that will capture all the videos that we do. To enter, all you have to do is create a song, record, and release a song in the month of September. There is no entry fee involved. There will be no competition. There are no prizes. I'm very sorry. I know some people have said, Pete, you should do as a best of Songtember where you award prizes. And I'm like, A, I don't have prizes. I'm not giving away prizes. B, you don't want to know the legalities of what you have to go through and the hoops you have to jump through to run any sort of prize or lottery or drawing or competition on YouTube. People do it, but they don't really follow the rules, and any of them
It's
could get
illegal.
shafted at any time. Yeah, basically, here in Australia, it's illegal to run any sort of random drawing or even a competition. You've got to have like very strict rules and T's and C's in place, which can take you days and lawyers and things. Anyway, all of that aside, I don't want it to be that. Because I don't know. I think there's enough things in life that are a competition and enough things in life that cost and that have an inherent sunk cost for doing. And there should be no return. There's no scalability. There's no return on investment. None of those wanky catchphrases are required because it's you. Your reward is completing it. And again, I know it's going to sound wanky, but yeah, the reward really is that you get to participate in the community, and then at the end of the month, you'll have a song. And you may love your song, you may not love your song, but it'll be a time capsule. It'll be a place in time where you can look back on it. And I know many people have got their Songtember 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, and about to do their 24 song, and they can look back on that. And I can do the same and say, oh, that's where I was. And there's something about a song that even if you're not writing about things that are happening at the time, like I listened to my 2020 song and it's got a very distinct flavor of frustration because in 2020 we were all very frustrated.
Mine was Metheist, very angry.
Yeah, and then I look at 21 and I was kind of chilling out a little. I'm a grown-ass man. Come on, no, well, work in progress it was. So I'm like, oh yeah, we're building back up again. And then 2022 was like, oh, I'm just chilling, I'm walking along and everything's cool. And then last year I was like, oh my God, because a lot of other things that were going on in the world, I kind of got angry again. So yeah, you can kind of follow yourself and through. But to answer your actual question, yeah, no entry fee, no difficulties. If you can do it any way you like, and that's the thing. I think some people want more rules, and they're like, "Oh, can you just give me some guidelines?" If you want guidelines, here it is. On the 1st of September, sit down and start writing a song. On the 30th of September, share whatever the hell you've put together in the last 30 days, and that's it. That's all you got to do. And I don't care if it's a voice memo or a live recording or a half a song. And that's the other thing. If you don't finish it, I think some people. No, I'm not pointing or looking at anyone in particular. Some people haven't quite finished their song by the 30th of September every year, and that's okay because if you get it done a few days later, no harm, no foul. In fact, Your Music Live shows a week after because I think the 30th is like a YML day, so it's a week after that. So even if you finish it on the freaking 5th of October, you can still submit it for the Songtember Your Music Live. And I promise I won't call you out like I just did with Jade. I'll just let it slide on by.
I've been good the last couple of years. You know what? There's a whole bunch of other things I haven't finished during the year. There's a whole list of, and trust me, you know what? They're getting finished now that I've rebuilt the studio. That's a good thing. So Do people have to release their songs to streaming services?
Yes, they must sign up to DistroKid right now using your or
Yeah.
my code. Get 7% off your first year on any DistroKid plan. No,
Correct.
uh, that's the right answer, right? Because we love DistroKid. No, it is not a prerequisite. In fact, my sort of catchphrase that I've developed, well, not over time, it's been on the channel since pretty much started, is create, record, release. Because I think they're the three key components of music creation, in my personal opinion. There's creation, which is very much the artistic side of it. It's the songwriting, it's the putting together the lyrics, it's the melodies, it's the rhythms, it's the harmonies. Then there's the recording, which is the technical side. That's actually getting the stuff down from your brain and putting it onto a device or a tape or an iPad or an iPhone or whatever it is. And then there's releasing. And I kind of wish create, record, release sounded better. And create, record, share didn't kind of have the same impact. But really, the releasing, the importance of the releasing, think of it more of releasing as if like you're letting out a big sigh
Yeah.
and you're finishing, you're done with it.
Oh.
Release, or you can go more pervy with your release. But you're finished, right? And you're sharing it with other people. Okay, now it's getting really creepy. But the whole point of sharing is that you get that sense of accomplishment. Oh man, what is it? Every time we get together. But yeah, you're sharing it and you get that sense of accomplishment. But better than that is that I don't know, music. There's people that will say art is not art unless it's shared with another human. And I mean, I over the years I kind of got all in on that, and then I realized that it's actually not true for 100% of people. There is a small subset of people that do art purely for their own enjoyment, and they don't care, they don't give a crap if they never share it with another person ever. But for the most of us, we like that feeling of sharing because we're humans. We like dealing with other humans, and it's a community thing. And the practical benefit. So that's all the feel good in the warm cockles of your heart stuff. The practical is you will get feedback. You'll learn what people like and don't like. And look, it's not a very harsh community. So we're not going to be the guy, the metal guy that's like crap and yells at people. It's not going to be Rick Beato that's all grumpy and negative about things. It won't be that sort of feedback, but you will learn, especially if you share throughout the month and then share again at the end. You'll get feedback from folks, and if you ask for it, you'll definitely get it. If you say, "Hey, here's my rough mix. What's good? What's bad? What can I do better?" People will give you that feedback. And I think that's the important part of sharing is that I keep saying it, but we all have so many blind spots, and it's not a bad thing. It's only bad if you don't acknowledge it. It's only bad if you think you've got everything down pat and you can't possibly change anything. And hey, this is how I am. I call a spade a friggin' shovel, and I'm not going to change. I'm too old to change. I'm too set in my ways, whatever. If you go in with that attitude, you're never going to grow, develop, learn. And that's fine. If you don't want to, if you're just set, that's where I'm going to be, guess what? But hey, that's where newspapers are. That's where broadcast TV is. That's where people that are recording in analog studios on tape are at the moment because they're not embracing anything new. It's okay. It's a decision, but you might be left behind. Whereas I think the better thing is if you share with people, you get feedback and you'll learn what you don't do, what you do well and what you don't do well. And you'll also learn, like, if it's important to you that other people like what you do, I mean, I think that you should make sure you like what you do and you like your own music. But if it's important what other people think to you, and you'll know if it is or if it isn't, then sharing with them will let you know what's working and what's not working. And that's why doing this every year will help because over time, like I know the sort of music that I can put out there that people will engage with the most because a lot of the people that listen to my music are kind of similar to me. They like acoustic, folky, rocky stuff with a nice, meaningful, and a nice hooky chorus and something that can sort of make you think. So if I go out there and do like a punk song or a metal song, it's probably not going to resonate with my audience as much as other songs. But it depends if you care about that and if that's what your focus is. So I guess going in knowing what are you doing this for and why you're sharing it is an important thing to do. But again, to loop right back around, yes, you must sign up to DistroKid right now. Give us all your money and release it to all the platforms because it's important.
Yeah, you can put it out anywhere. It's just, any place you want, even if you release it on Instagram. All good.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. And
get it somewhere.
And again, because I'm very much about there being zero cost. Slaps.com is great, and a lot of people are sharing there. We've got a SONGTEMBER group that you can share to on slaps.com. It is like the DistroKid, the free version, the DistroKid Lite, and it's like SoundCloud back when SoundCloud was good. It's a nice way of putting it. So, yeah, you
Yes.
can share your stuff for free
It can
over
still
there. Or,
send SoundCloud. Well, you still
yeah,
accept SoundCloud?
yeah,
So,
SoundCloud's still fine. It's
yep.
just
And
that, yeah,
mp3.com, still accepting.
p3.com. Yeah, if you're seeded on Napster, then I might be able to find it eventually.
Speaking of people's music, we're going to play a song.
Whoop, whoop.
And this is one, I think I chose this one. Yeah. So
Cool.
this is the Chandler Brothers from last
Oh
year.
yeah.
Here in September. It's a great song. And it really kicks off what we're talking about here because it's about September and Songtember and all the great things that have been created and will be created because the Chandler's put together great music. So we're ready to go. Let's play it, unmute, and we'll see you back here in a moment. Let's go. Ja. The wonderful musical stylings of the Chandler Brothers. Welcome back, Pete.
That song is like drinking a cool margarita on a tropical beach and just laying back in a lounge chair because it's just so cruisy. The vibe of that. Yeah, the Chandlers are so cool. They're like some of the nicest dudes going around and great musicians as well.
They are very distinct. We love them, and that song is very. It's a bit heartfelt. Seeing everyone in there, I love that stuff. It's
I know,
very
and
sentimental.
this is the beauty of it. I'd all but forgotten about that, to be honest. And yeah, there's so much. Again, I give myself a relief pass because it's been a year and there were nearly 80 songs. But yeah, I think we actually closed the YML show with that one, or opened it, or something, because yeah, it's so cool, and it's you could have just played that instead of us rabbiting on for 2 hours. You could have just played that, and that kind of tells the whole story in a nice succinct way.
There's a few other people that have joined us. I didn't say hi to Stu and Jenny and Secret Legacy and Semtex Cow. And
Oh,
let me see. God, I'm terrible at this scrolling thing. Why is scrolling so hard?
oh,
We saw a couple of new people in here as well.
Jerry Gomes, g'day.
Guzzo Voz, Jerry Gomes. We're going to answer your question in a minute, Jerry. Um,
Oh, Jerry had a question.
yes, I'll ask you now while I'm
Hmm.
scrolling. Joe Glenn's here as well. Um, are we allowed to do covers first?
Look, it's never come up, to be honest.
Hmm.
Short answer is you can do what you want because there really are no rules, and I'll still play it. I guess the idea is to get the creative juices flowing, but I would argue, my own devil's advocate, that you can do that with a cover song. And yeah, if you're doing a reimagination of something, then totally. If it's a different, put it this way, if it's a difference between a cover song or nothing, do a cover song because you're going to get something done. And yeah, I think cover song, people think that they're not original, but you can do something very original with a cover song. So yes, why not?
Hi, Whimsical Steve and Mr. Smith. What about collaborations? That was
Yes.
Jerry's question.
Yep, absolutely. Yes, collaborations have been done a heap actually. There's been and more each year by the looks of it. There seems to be more people collaborating on things. I mean, I'd be breaking the rule because you and I collaborate most years as well.
Yes.
So yeah, collaboration's good. And in fact, it's almost it's not a prerequisite, but the fact that the whole point of it is to get feedback from other people, that's almost a collaboration in itself. It's like you've got a giant team of producers helping you produce your song. So it's kind of like cloud. I know for my songs, I consider not only when we did work in progress where there was a whole group of folks that actually joined me with the big gang vocal at the end, the chorus, but a lot of the words that were in there, a lot of the ideas, a lot of the instrumentation was because I was doing live shows throughout the month and people giving feedback. I was incorporating that into the song. So thankfully, they don't make me any money. So if you're thinking about suing me and coming after me for your cut of it, I hate to disappoint you, but yeah, your 20% producer fee of all the income I've made on these Songtember songs in the last 5 years might buy you a cup of coffee if you're really lucky.
I need to read Brad's drama of the day. I drove to camp in a thunderstorm, so I'm soaked and wearing a blanket while my clothes are in the dryer. Facilities here at my camp. It's been a nightmare. Everything is soaked. Drove to camp on my four wheeler. That's why I'm so wet. If Russ was here, this is what he'd be doing. Because that's what we do in Clubhouse. We laugh at Brad's expense.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Brad, but that all sounds like a you choice thing, mate. Because cab, four wheeler are not things that I'll ever have to worry about. So yeah, I'm here in my warm, dry house because that's what I choose to do. But no, it sounds like an adventure, mate. It sounds like you're gonna have a story, and that's the
Yeah,
thing when you do things like that. If everything just goes to plan, and it's a good analogy. Who would have thought Brad had a good analogy for Songtember? But it's a good analogy because things won't go to plan, and you'll have a plan at the start, and you'll
true.
think you're doing something. You'll think your song's going a certain way, and the song may direct you in another path. And you had Mike on the show a week or two ago, and he mentioned this that sometimes you think you control the song, and then you start creating it, and the song just does a complete U-turn, and it turns around and it does something completely different. So I don't really know how that relates to Brad getting wet on his four wheeler, but it means that yeah, you can think that it's going to be blue skies and sunshine and everything's going to go fine, and then it'll start pouring with rain, and you're like, okay, maybe I need to turn around and go and and do something completely different. And that will happen throughout your songwriting, and the song will tell you what it wants. And again, without getting too woo woo, yeah, sometimes you'll think you're completely in control and you know exactly what you're going to do, and then it just won't work. And then you'll try something completely from the other side, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I guess it's a reggae song now. And you just roll with it.
Yes, indeed. Now, my favourite part, and we're going to talk about preparing. Hi, Andy Aspine.
G'day, Andy.
Right, preparing. Now, folks, I'm just going to put this out there. Now, if you've got things to update and all that stuff, and you've got no projects running, do it fucking now.
Yep.
Don't do it
Next 2
midway.
days.
Yeah,
Yep.
don't sit there because, you know, Apple's got an event coming up and there could be another iOS update. Just do all your updating, cleaning things out. Now, I did this a couple of weeks or a week ago on the channel, a bit over a week ago. I did a whole show sitting here deleting stuff from my iPad. And boy, in the end, I think on the show, I deleted nearly 100 gig on the show. I ended up deleting 200 gig. So that was such a huge relief to know there's a bunch of space. Tidy up.
Yep.
Do you do this? Do you sit here and do this and clean things up and it's because it's spring here in Australia, so it's a spring clean. That's why it's fixed the studio, cleaned up my iPad.
Yep. Yeah, I've still got to do the iPad. That's going to be sort of I'm doing a hangout, a preparation hangout tomorrow, in fact, at this time tomorrow. So, folks, if you want to come along and see what I'm doing for that. But yes, yesterday was studio cleaning day. So everything came off the desk, completely spray and wiped every surface is gleaming at the moment, at least for the next, week until it's not. But you got to, starting with a clean mind and a clean space, I think is really important. And then, yeah, it'll be the technology side of things that I need to do next, which is, and look, if you don't have the time to do any of this, I don't want anyone to go, well, I can't complete everything, so therefore I'm not going to try. At least just create a folder. There's something really cathartic about just having one folder on whether it's an iPad or a Mac or a PC or whatever, and just call it Songtember 2024. Do it right now. Just call it Songtember 2024. Create a text file or a document or something in there right now. Put your first recordings, move any of your voice memos or anything into that folder, and make that your working folder for the entire month, because there's nothing worse than not being able to find what you're working on. And it's the best excuse in the world to not get up and just, like, you got that 10 minutes that you can actually just work on it between things. If you know where everything is, you can jump straight in, get started, and do something with it, even if it's just going through your notes and adding a few lyric ideas or whatever. So, yeah, if you can't do the complete full spring clean like Jade and I are doing, still just do something. Just create yourself a blank space, move all your other stuff. I love a folder called Archive. So if you can't bother organizing everything, grab everything that you have that's in your way, put it in Archive, and then have a fresh folder and get started.
Absolutely. Gangoidal. Is that really Chainsaw Charlie? No way. Oh my God. So if that really is, this is the original guitarist from FMC. Wow. It is. I think it is. Oh my God. Wow. There you go. If that's true. I think it is. Yes. So
Hello.
long time no see. Yeah. And back up your stuff. Listen to me. Trust me on this. Back up your shit. Right. Because don't be me like last week who lost everything and had to rebuild everything from scratch. But you know what? The thing is, if you have stuff like iCloud and stuff like that, do your backups, do clean space. It's very important, because I'll tell you what, this is why I think it's the most important thing for cleaning. There's nothing worse than when you're recording, especially on iOS or even on a computer, and you just recorded the best vocal take or the best guitar take, and then it says, run out of space. And you're like, fuck me, what is happening here? And you lose a project halfway through. Like, this is a thing, and we forget. It's the worst thing about us. We're terrible with cleaning up our messes. And so it is very, very important to have that space. So because the creative process is tough as it is, to sit there and come up with ideas, get into a flow and keep writing and as soon as you get any obstacle in the way, it can just destroy you, and can destroy you for a couple of weeks. Like the pain is real, isn't it, Pete?
It is, yeah, and it's really easy to make an excuse as to why you shouldn't do something, and you find things you'll know yourself that you start doing a thing, and this is why what I do when I'm creating, and you don't have to do exactly this, but what I do when I'm creating is I close everything off. I go into do not disturb mode. I don't have any notifications coming in because I'm dedicating that period of time. If I've got an hour to create, look, it's easy for me because I usually do it live streaming, so I can't be checking Instagram and answering Facebook messages while I'm live streaming, but basically pretend that you're being watched. Yeah, it's creepy as it sounds. Just pretend that someone else is watching you, and for that hour, you are doing nothing but that. So, and that means closing down everything else. If you're on your iPhone or your iPad or your laptop or your whatever, just close every other application. You don't need anything open in the background apart from whatever you're using to take notes or put your lyrics or whatever, and the thing you're using to record in. And you'll be amazed at how much better and easier it is to actually create when you've got a lot of people think I can multitask, I can do that. It's been proven time and time again that the smallest micro distraction takes your brain off of the function that it's on right now, and it takes about 5 times longer to get back on to the original function. You might think, oh, like for instance, I just got a text message because didn't have my phone on do not disturb because my children are going to school, and I was just checking they had their laptops and their phones. And that took me off for like a couple of seconds, and it took me like 10 seconds to get back on the track. And if you'd asked me a question at that exact time, I'd be like, huh, what? What did you say, Jack? But yeah, the same thing can apply to you. So if you have the luxury to be able to do it, sure, if you've got children or if you've got dependable people, sometimes you have to be distracted. But if you can be distraction free and get in the zone and get in that flow state, like we all know what that feels like when you're in that flow state where like time kind of stands still, or sometimes it goes really fast because you've done 4 hours of it and then you think you've only been there for 5 minutes. But yeah, just take the time to remove all distractions, close everything. We have too many distractions in the future. I say we live in the future and it's wonderful for so many reasons, but you can distract yourself. Like the limitless scrolling just allows you to be distracted from reality for the rest of your life if you want to be. So turn off anything that can distract you and just create. Just embrace it.
Absolutely. Let's play another song. Now, I'm going to play one you picked from last year. This is Cat and Mouse from our friend Rise of Dark Leela.
Very cool.
Let me get
and a shout out because a lot of people do create, and the reason I picked this one is that Leela, and I don't know, she hasn't told me if she's 100% in doing this year, but last year on her channel, during her videos, she created this song, and it was super cool to watch folks like her and Jade and Tommy Jack and Keonra and JB Malander all create their songs as well, sort of live on their channels. So it was very cool to see, and this is a bloody awesome song because it's Leela.
This is Cat and Mouse by Rise of Dark Leela. And I will be doing it this year. I'll be taking you through the whole process of me doing my song. I know you will be, Pete. Leela will be. Jamie will be. The more people get involved, share your process. If you have the means to do it, share it because it does help other people. It inspires. Just do it, man. All right, let's play this. Cat and Mouse. Let's ooja.
Nature acts without intent, wishes neither good nor ill, never asks or seeks repentance, friend, aid or kill. Only temporary respite from a cold and distant end. Despite the prayers of the desperate, trusting treacherous stranger, covering the layers of mystery, finding victory or mortality. The game of life is dangerous, trusting treacherous strangers. Nature acts without intent, wishes neither good nor ill, never asks or seeks repentance, foe and friend to aid or kill. The game of life is dangerous, trusting treacherous strangers. The mystery and in victory of mortality. The game of life is dangerous, trusting treacherous strangers. The game of life is dangerous.
Rise of Dark Leela. Cat and Mouse from last year's SONGTEMBER. Rad song. And get over, there's the link. Thomas has put it in the chat. Check out her channel. She does 3 shows a week. We're the first show each week. What is it, on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday? First show, she talks about apps and showing you how to use apps to make music. The second show each week, she talks about video, photography, video clips, all that kind of stuff. And her third show each week, she does a live performance and sings for us all, which is fantastic. You will learn something different. You know, every channel that does tutorial stuff like me and Pete, we all have different processes. So, you know, Leela's super creative. She takes things that are just like you wouldn't expect and layers them and just creates these beautiful collages of art. And she's very unique. So it's always good to get different perspectives of creation and such. Indeed. Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
Am I?
No, I had you muted. Sorry.
I know. I checked my mute because I always mute myself. I always do a hard mute. I don't trust Jade, so I always do a hard mute. And I'm like, oh, shit.
No,
Did I unmute? Did I
mute everything, mate. The desk is, you know, I mute everything. Too much.
Don't want to be caught saying fuck on your channel again. Leela got that like real got that real Bond, like Mr. Smith was saying it was like a James Bond theme, and she's got that sultry atmospheric style, and it's not just something that's in her music, it's in her personality too, and it's very different. Like, you're different to me. I don't know if anyone noticed that, but we're different in the way we approach things and the sort of person that we are. Leela's very different. Jamie Mallard has a completely different approach that I know a lot of people love. He's the Hugh Grant of the group, the very nice, bubbling, like, oh yes, we're going to do this, and just absolutely lovely chap. But it's really cool to see him create as well. And yeah, there's just so many people, and all of our friends of SONGTEMBER. If you want to be a friend of SONGTEMBER, if you're planning to do content for SONGTEMBER, hit me up. I'll add you to our list, because over at the One Stop Shop, studiolivetoday.com/SONGTEMBER, that has our friends of SONGTEMBER links there, so you can go and watch others creating. And don't forget, hashtag SONGTEMBER will help me find you and will help other people find you everywhere. So whether you're on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or Tumblr or Snap, I don't know, what are the kids using these days?
Snap.
Then you can
it's called IG.
Share. Hashtag, yeah, on the gram.
IG.
Like
on the gram? I've never heard anybody
Dad, you're not cool enough to be on the gram.
The gram. Is that a new thing?
I've heard it. I don't know.
If
If I've heard it, it's not the new thing. It's the thing 3 things ago that no one ever says anymore.
you have an advantage because you got younger kids, yeah. So whatever they're saying is the thing.
Yeah, I do have to ask them. They often don't tell me. They don't want me to know because then I start saying it incessantly, and then it becomes uncool, and then it's not cool when they say it anymore. So I try to keep up, but it is cool because I can actually go and say, hey, what does this mean? What is this meme? Why are people saying this? And I usually get a roll of the eyes and a sigh, and then eventually an explanation if they're feeling kind. So I now know what the skibbity toilet meme is and
Oh
why it
man,
exists.
you started me on that trip, and whoa.
These Gen Alphas, they're actually nuts. These sweaty Fortnite kids and their skibbity toilets, I tell you what.
It's so cool though, like to see, like if you don't know what Skibbity Toilet is, when you look at the first, there's if you go have a look for Skibbity Toilet, there's a bunch of 2-hour videos which show each video all the way up till now. To see the growth of how it just started with a head in a toilet, and now it's like these elaborate like fucking space missions and explosions. It's like a fucking movie. It's amazing. I can understand why the kids have got into it. The first ones I don't get, but why is there a head in a toilet? It doesn't make any sense. Whatever.
But again, yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like culture, I know we're not talking about this specifically, but it's semi-related. But I don't know. Like I was talking to my wife yesterday because she was having a chat with like her work colleagues, and they were talking about in regards to and in regard to, and apparently, I'll put it out here to the chat right now. But what would you use if you were talking about something and you say, in regards to SONGTEMBER, I would like to create a funk song, or in regard to SONGTEMBER, I would like to create a metal song. And drum roll, please. But yeah, the correct English grammar is regard. But that's not what most people say. And I think the English language is evolving, music is evolving, culture is evolving, everything is changing. Someone once wrote a song that said the only thing that doesn't change is that things will change. And it's true because everything is changing all the time. And I used to be an absolute grammar Nazi. I used to hate it when people used the wrong words and were incorrect and they're technically incorrect. So it's the best kind of correct. Whereas now I'm like, you know what? You just got to let people have their thing. And if they can communicate in a way that I can understand and that they can understand and they're happy and it doesn't impact me, why do I care? Let the kids have their skibbity toilet, is what I'm saying about it.
100%. That being said, I love that saying now.
It is what it is.
No, that being said is the new it is what it is. We have to run an ad because every day, halfway through the ad, we run a show.
Halfway through the ad, we run a second ad.
So, let's run the ad. You can avoid the ad by becoming a YouTube Premium subscriber or just skipping the ad and we'll wait for you to come back. So let's run the ad now. The ad has been run. Boom. So you may or may not get an ad. And while we're waiting for those people who may have got an ad, let me tell you what's coming up. The only show I've got planned. Now, I was supposed to do a pre-recorded video last night, but because the studio got torn apart, I'll be dropping that tonight. And I think that's going to be a gospel organ or something like that. And then the update will come out. But this weekend, now, not only you're kicking off SONGTEMBER on September 1st, our time, which is the day before.
August 31st.
August 31st.
Yeah.
Right. So that's happening. And I don't have Patreon. I do have Patreon, but it's an hour earlier. So I can come on your show. And this week, my opening hour is this because, man, SONGTEMBER is a big day for me as well, too, each year because it's my fucking birthday. And this year, I'm turning 52. Shit. Good God.
You've had as many birthdays as a deck of cards. That's a bit scary.
Yeah. Wow.
Throw a deck of cards in the air and see how many fall down. And you're like, shit, Jade Starr lived a year for every one of those suckers.
I'm 10 numbers away from the meaning of life. I'm getting further away from it with each passing. So this weekend on the opening hour, I'm just going to do a collection of songs of stuff I like and original songs and community songs and just a mixed bag of stuff. So just so you know, that's going on. And now we'll talk about your show that's coming up. All right, the ad's probably been run and people are back. We can get back to it.
Yes, please buy whatever cryptocurrency they told you to buy. It'll be totally safe.
Yeah.
It's totally worth it. All right.
Is it okay to start working on your song before September?
Sure, why not? If you want to, that's the thing. Like, people have said, "Is that cheating? Do I have to wait for the clock to tick over to midnight before I start my song?" And I'm like, "Well, if you've watched me, you'll know that the last 3 years I've used a riff that I'd already created, that I had in my voice memos. So, no, you can start working on it. What I don't think is, again, I don't have very many rules, but what I don't think is particularly cool is having a song that you've already finished and then calling it your Songtember song.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a wank. But no, like, even if you're halfway through a song and you're like, right, Songtember is going to be my motivation to get this song done. But yeah, as I was saying to you at the start, I've had a lot of people that have just gone a second of song. Oh, here's my Songtember song, and it's like, no, no, no. It's not. It's not choose a song that you've created in the last year, call it your Songtember song, and then send it to me on the 2nd of September. That's not really the point. If you want to do that, that's the regular YML that we do every week. So we have an opportunity to play your songs that are not that. But yeah, no, just whatever you want to do. If you've already got half a song, or if you've already got part of a song, and you want to use Songtember as your motivation to get it finished and to get it mixed and mastered and released and shared and all that sort of stuff, then yeah, by all means, go at it. Yeah, it doesn't have to be, because who's got, yeah, some people won't have the time. Some people won't have enough time in their days to actually get a whole song done. So maybe you start with a head start.
True, like I did last year. And by the way, happy birthday, E Urban, if that's right. If that's your birthday
Nice.
today, happy birthday to you. Yeah, last year I started mine a week early, because like, where's the time? But you know, there was just ideas. This time around, I've got ideas. I've reached out to my collaborator, so I've actually done that, and I've decided the key that I'm singing, and it's
Oh wait, I just got a message from Jade. You're my collaborator. What?
no, 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 no.
We didn't agree to this.
Well, I hope I am. I hope. Well, if you have drums, I'm hoping to be playing drums this year.
So that's the thing. If I do, you will be, but who knows? Like, it
know.
could be a rap song. It could just be an 808 in the background.
Oh,
Like,
fuck,
we
really?
we don't actually know.
Because, like, as I said, I rebuilt the studio last night, and look, Pete, I can access the drums now. I've got my stool here. I can actually play on my kit because this was buried in the corner, and I can actually play the drums now. So
You
that's
could be a one-person band. You could have like left hand on the keys, right hand hitting the
keys.
drums like the Def Leppard drummer, and you could be singing, and you could be dancing. You could be doing it all at once.
I do. So, so I hope to hopefully be playing drums with you. All right. So what else is here? This is the tough one. So, what are your suggestions? I know you just did a video on this. Suggestions for like coming up with ideas, because this is really hard.
It is.
I normally struggle with it. I've already just before we even got to this week gone through 10 different things. I'd already started. I think I've got like 4 Metheus songs started, and I ditched it to change path already. What are some
Yep.
nice ways to get things started? Some ideas to get the juices flowing?
Yeah, so it is when you're staring at that blank page or that blank DAW, it can be really tricky. And the first thing I'll say is kind of the last thing I said on the podcast today, which is make sure that you're enjoying it and having fun and not taking it too seriously. And to be honest, the best ideas don't happen when you write, okay, now it's time to make music, and you open up your DAW and you sit there with your guitar or your microphone or your keyboard. Uh, no, they come at all the other times. And that's why I say that the importance of having a note-taking system of some sort, don't care how elaborate or how basic it is, and an audio or video capturing system of some sort. Again, all of this can be your phone. If all you do is open up the voice memos app on your phone and talk into it, if you've got an idea for a song, like a song about how ducks are really weird and when they're in trees, it doesn't feel right. And then just put that in there. Or it can be like walking down the street and like, oh, I've got a great melody idea. Do 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 do. Oh, wait, no, that's probably plagiarizing someone. Or you can actually record your guitar or whatever music you're playing. Because I don't think there's been a single song that I've created by just sitting down with absolutely nothing and going, right, G chord. I mean, maybe it works for some folks, but for me, I've got to have a spark, something, whether it's just an idea, it could be a single line of dialogue, it could be a single riff that I have that I've played on guitar, it could be just a melody, a hook I've got in my head that I'm just like, da 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 da. Like, oh, there's something there. So yeah, I think that capturing the pre stuff, if you're thinking, what do I do now? How do I make sure I get started well? Is capture as many ideas as you get, and you're not going to get them when you're sitting in your music creation area. Quite often it's going to be when you're somewhere else, when you're out and about. So have a mobile device with you. We live in the future. Everyone's got these little rectangles of glass with them. So just pump it into that in some way. And then when you sit down, you've basically got, it's like cheating, but it's cheating from yourself because you've got a giant roster of ideas and things that can inspire you to get started. So if I had to give you one tip, it would be that.
Yeah, I agree on the whole doo-doo-ders, da-da-das. I wrote the entire Metheist album with doo-doo-das. Walking along, doing the bar. That's how I wrote ba 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 ba. I did it all with bass lines, just humming into. Was it music? Yes, it was music memos. Look at this. Remember this. Oh, you must remember this.
This
A
music memos.
kiss is just a kiss. The old music memos. And look, they're all downloading. So they're probably still in here. Wherever it was, 2020.
Yeah, again,
look.
the beauty of the cloud, this is the thing, the cloud backs up and it keeps, you can never hide anything. If you think you've gotten rid of something, just check your cloud, people, and you recently deleted because it could be there.
Let's see. What's this? No, that doesn't sound like. Yeah, but I miss this app so much. So it was 2020 September. Here we go. This was after, yeah. This was after I got to humming all these songs. I put it all in these. These are the music memos. Looks like you can't use the drums anymore, but that's sad.
Yeah, what's there's no drums, is there? That's bizarre.
No, it's not working.
If you don't remember music memos, it was actually, weirdly enough, I've got a very soft spot in my heart for music memos because the first video that I ever produced for this channel was about music memos. It was in 2017. You can go and find it if you want to, and it's absolutely terrible production. But yeah, because it was such a great app. It was a great way of like capturing ideas. And what you do is you'd sing into it, you'd play guitar into it, or whatever you wanted to, or piano or whatever, and then it would add bass and drums, and it would identify the chords. And one of the most frustrating things about the Logic Pro for iPad release is that there is no chord identification in Logic Pro for iPad basically at all. And we've got all these cool new chords modes and session players and things, which are basically just a rehash of what Music Memos was doing 10 years ago. And we don't have the ability to just play something and then say, tell me what chords these are. And Music Memos was doing it in 2017, like really not perfectly, but quite well. So yeah, I'm baffled as to why we don't have that. But the sad news is, if you're wondering why we're talking about it in the past tense, is that Apple discontinued it about 4 years ago, and you can still access it if you had downloaded it previously, but you cannot download it if you haven't had it before. It's very sad.
Yeah, and but very handy. But you can use what's the other one? The voice, is it called?
Yeah, voice memos has actually been updated quite a lot. So it doesn't have the backing stuff, but you can put it in voice memos. And because I have a video about everything on this channel, if you search Pete John's voice memos GarageBand, I even show you how to record something in voice memos and then export it and bring it over into GarageBand and then play around with it, which is what I did with pretty much every song that I've done recently, because I've had the original voice memo, and I don't usually use that in my production, but I just throw it in there and put it on a track just so that I've got the original idea there, and then I'll mute that out, but I'll leave it in there, and then I get to the end of the month and I listen to this final finished product, and then it's really cool to go back to that original crusty voice memo that you used at the start to inspire the whole process. So yeah, it's a good way to go.
Here's a question I wish I didn't have to ask in 2024. Is it okay for me to create a song using Suno or Udio and release it for Songtember?
I'm exhausted by AI, to be honest. I wish AI would just stop existing. No, the problem is that everything has been branded AI now, which means that the worst sort of AI gets mixed in with the AI that was already existing, that wasn't even and isn't even really AI, but people now call AI. So we've had this problem of misnomer, of naming everything that is technology. All automated technology is now called AI, despite the fact that the vast majority of it is not actually machine learning or artificial intelligence in the definition that we think of. So If you are using things that are tools that will help you, that is great. I use the auto drummer when I'm putting things together. I use all sorts of automation. I use all sorts of electronic things that have automation built into them. I use presets. I use all the tools that I can have handy to me. But yeah, if you if you think that SONGTEMBER is going into Suno and writing in funk song about ducklings for SONGTEMBER, and whatever it spits out with its artifacts and crunchy sounds, you then say, right, there's my song done, and you email me on the second of SONGTEMBER and go, song done, and I'm like, why does everything sound all like flangy and artifacty? This sounds like Suno. Then yeah, that's not super cool. I don't think that that's the go.
Yeah.
If you want to do that for you and for your own enjoyment, go your hardest. But there's a difference between coming up with a song idea and putting it into Suno or Udio or wherever, and actually taking something and creating and sculpting and molding it into something that's your own. So it kind of comes down to remixing and repurposing, and cover songs and all that sort of stuff are cool. Completely plagiarizing someone's music and putting it out as your own is not cool. And that's the differentiation I see between using AI tools and then all of your own human brain to create and craft something that's awesome, versus using AI tools to completely work around the whole human interaction process entirely and just plagiarize something that someone else has already created. So that's my take on it. How about you? What say you, Jade?
Listen, the industrial age happened for a reason, right? So we could hopefully move on and then have more time to be creative. Unfortunately, we have powers that be that refuse to move laws ahead with the times that change. So here we are in 2024, and we're still trying to catch up with the Industrial Revolution. So clearly, all this new stuff like AI and all this, it's going to take at least 50 years for the governments to catch up and legislate and get all this stuff. But AI should be curing cancer, man, and it should be solving problems, not taking away our fucking creative. Creativity is the stuff that allows us to be human and express ourselves and all that. If you're making music with AI for SONGTEMBER, fuck off. I'm just saying it. I don't give a shit. Fuck off. Unless you're gonna take some of it and put some of yourself into it. And I don't mean putting your own lyrics to the AI music. Fuck off. That's not right. Just there's so many things, so many music splitters and stuff, and even Udio and all that split the songs up, split the tracks up now. Take something from that. Be creative. Put yourself in it. Don't just do that. It's shit. It's rubbish, and it's making it really hard to discern when people are doing this kind of music, because people are putting out, working their ass off, and you're just coming along ruining it for everybody. So seriously, if you're making a song for SONGTEMBER and you're doing it in Suno or Udio, have a good look at yourself in the mirror, and maybe you should take up sailing. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Mic drop, except it's on your head, so it's hard for you to drop your mic.
Ooh. E-Urban asked this, and Thomas already answered this. What if I don't have a song, but just a collection of garbage sequences of beats and noise? Will that do? And Thomas writes, isn't that technically a song?
Have you listened to the charts lately? Playboy Cardi has made a whole career out of just random, unintelligible mumbling. So, yeah, you do you. Just got to start with it. So do it. Create a beat and do some rapping over it, and create something. Just have some fun and be creative. And Gregory is saying here, unfortunately, synthesizer V. And this is the thing. I know that there are some very cool voice synthesizers, and if you are working and you are an amazing instrumental producer and you want some vocals on a track, and you use voice synthesizer and you say the vocals on this track were made using a voice synthesizer, I don't really see that as any different to I used an automated arpeggio because I couldn't play fast enough to play this. It's like I can't sing, therefore I use voice synthesizer. Guess what? I can't play keys, so I use chord generators and I use arpeggios. There's really not a lot of difference between those. And you can call me a hypocrite for that. Like, you got to be all pure, or you got to be all in or all out, Johns. And I'm like, no, mate. The world is grey, and there are grey areas around every corner. So it comes down to the fact that you got to be able to sleep at night, and you've got to be able to say, yeah, this is me and I created this, or no, this is not me and I didn't create this. But again, the only thing I think that's wrong is, as you said, is using 100% AI to create it, especially if you then own it and take ownership and say that you did a thing when you didn't really do a thing.
Yep.
It's not you. And on the look, I'm going to have a quick rant here, but it
Oh,
wouldn't be a show like this
close
if I
up.
didn't. Remember the Jetsons? Do you ever watch the Jetsons?
Meet
Really cool
George
cartoon.
Jetson.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
So the Jetsons was created in the 50s and it was set in like the 2050s. So we're not quite at Jetsons levels yet. So they lived in space, they flew around in flying cars, and George worked a job that he worked for 2 hours a week, and he was a button pusher. And the worst thing that happened to him is his button pushing finger would get a bit sore. He'd be like, I don't know how we can push buttons. How do we used to push buttons for 10 hours a week? This is crazy. So the idea in the 50s of a future was more leisure time, more creativity. And if you watch the Jetsons, the music that's being played, there's a really cool song called Eep Up Ork Ah. And if you know it, you'll know it. And there's a band, because that means I love you. And there's a band that's playing this. And I look at that scene. I was watching it the other day because I'm a weird dude and I watch the Jetsons. But I'm like, what was happening here? They were automating, they were using all the AI to create this utopian world where no one was living in poverty, where everyone had enough to survive, where the machines were doing the grunt work that nobody wanted to do, so that everyone could have more leisure time, so that they could play more music, so that they could have more fun, so that they could do more things. And we're going the opposite direction. What did
Yes.
the Industrial Revolution do? It made us streamline our work so that we could work more and
It's
be more
ridiculous.
efficient. So we could work more. And then what did the Computer Revolution did? It helped us be more efficient in the work that we were doing, so we could do more. Not so that we could work 20-hour weeks instead of 40-hour weeks and still get the same output. No, we can now do double the output in our 40-hour weeks that we did before. And what AI is doing is it's taking that. I feel so bad for people working in call centers right now.
Yeah,
I feel for you. I used to work in call centers, you did as well. And you used to, the beauty of a call center day was that you would get some easy calls and some absolutely horrible hard calls that were complaints. And that would blend and mix together. What companies are now doing is the 80% of calls that are easy, they're palming off to automated services, to AI, to robots, to other things, to online. You know this, not you, but everyone watching this knows this, because every time you try to contact a company, they'll put you through their web chat, their automated web agent. They'll put you onto their website. You'll go through all these processes. The only way to get to a human is to basically have the most difficult, complicated, horrible problem in the world. And that's all that people are doing now. And it goes all the way back to what you were saying before is, please, AI, don't take away the things that we enjoy that are good for us, that replenish and nourish the soul, and just leave us with all the crap that only humans can possibly do because it's so hard and complicated, because that will burn out humans. And we don't want that. I don't think we want that as a society. So be more like the Jetsons. Is what I want to
Yes.
say.
Just the Songtember is about you. It's about it's about us. It's about you. It's about people. It's not about AI generated dog shit. And the more it happens, the more shit comes out.
Yep.
It's
And,
just
and
all
you know,
shit.
And on that, people say, "Oh, what is it? What content can I put in my song? Can I make it political? If I'm into religion, can I make it about my religion?" The short answer is yes. The longer answer is, if you're not preaching hate against anyone or anything, then you're golden. So if you come and you say, "I want to make a song and it's going to be an anti," I'll be like, "Oh, let me stop you there. How about you flip that around and make it a pro what you're into song?" And no, that can't be pro-Nazi. I know people are going to mix my words and go and take it down a slippery slope, but just think about it and go, am I lifting people up? I'm encouraging positivity, and it doesn't mean that your song has to be all puppy dogs, rainbows, clouds in the
Oh,
sky, but you can actually do something. You can have a message. If you listen to the songs that I've created, that Jay has created, that many people in the community have created, yeah, you can do it in a way that is still going to be creative and constructive and get your message across without it just being F this, F that, F everyone. I hate all the people that are this or that do this or that believe this. So, yeah, it's kind of that thing where you can't say the rule is don't create a political song or don't create a religious song, because it depends. It's such a variable thing. But just think about it and go, if I was someone that believed in a thing or that liked a thing, am I attacking that person directly? And am I preaching hate? And if the answer is yes, then don't do it. If the answer is no, then you'll be pretty fine.
yeah. Don't be me either. Where you release a song like trying to expose people who hate trans people, and then get banned for hating trans people when you're
And
trans yourself.
And that's the problem. That's the slippery slope of
Yep.
things at the moment. Is that if you don't want to, if you I've had to err on the side of caution in recent times,
Yeah.
and it just is what it is with our current political and environmental landscape that we have around the world. It is. It's not great. And if you want to again, if you want to put out a song, my song last year about choices, it is sending a message to the people that I really don't like. So you could say, aren't you not obeying your own rules? You're preaching hate. But no, I think I did a decent job of flipping it around. And it was more a message to people. Don't care about other people and don't worry about what they think of your choices in life. So yeah, there's no, again, gray area people, not black or white.
Yep.
It's always going to be grey.
Be Pete. Be a in a nice way. All right. So I say I hit the button. Let's play another one of your picks. So this is Jamie Mallender from last year.
Dude.
The Replicant Hunter. So Jamie also will be doing shows. His Patreon's been going off talking about Songtember. He'll be doing shows showing his process. And again, he uses completely different software, like he uses Cubase's predominantly. So you get a whole different perspective over there. Let's play his song. It's called Replicant Hunter. Let's do it right now. Let's OG Poggy Boom.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it's wicked. I got to watch him make that last year and add
Yep.
some, like, it's cool because when you're watching someone make a song on YouTube, we get to add stuff in. That whole middle bit, there was a whole lot of drama around it, and we were adding ideas. And to see it come about, it's just fantastic to see songs like that happen. Right. So now is the time for my shameless plug. So I need to put this out there because it's important. And I'm not doing this to be a grifter or to try and pull money out of you all. I master music. If you weren't aware, I have a Patreon, and for Songtember, let me suggest this to you all. If you're watching this, join up for the month. It'll cost you $1, and I will master your Songtember song. You'll get 4 episodes for the whole month. Right, it's for only $1, and you get to like send your song in, even if it's not finished. Send it in during those 4 episodes to get some critical feedback. We're all a very tight knit community. It's a private stream. It's not going out to YouTube. And at the end, when you're ready to go, send me your mixed file. We'll master it. It'll cost you $1, and it'll just help get that song get a bit of to touch me, a bit of polish on the end, just to make it shine a little bit more. And I'm not saying that, if that's a thing that you struggle with, do it. Join up for $1. Thomas has put the link in there. If you want to hang around for afterwards, that's up to you. But just for that month, you can't go wrong for $1, And I want to help.
I've been warning Jade for years that she's going to wake up one day and there's going to be 25 people that just joined her Patreon and they've all sent her a file to master that week, and she's going to do a 5-hour live stream on Patreon. But do that. Make Jade's life more difficult by becoming a patron and giving her all the work to do. That would be my recommendation.
If it can't be done in the show, I'll do it offline. I do that as well too. There's heaps of songs I master, and as a patron, I'll do an album. I'll do the whole lot. I've said it now, haven't I?
True, it is. And you don't have to only pay her $1. If you think her work is worth more, you can join at a higher level. So there's also that option of that.
Absolutely. You get a chance to win some apps and stuff if you join at the higher levels. But as Jenny says, do it. Join the cool kids, even though most of us are over 40. So there you go. What was I going to say next? Pete, where will these songs be played? Is there a radio station or some kind of quirky little place where they'll get played, like, some big channel that has like over 100,000 subscribers or something like that? Will they get played somewhere?
Yes, I'll be on Songtember FM with PJ and the Jade. No, there's Your Music Live. That's my weekly show that we do. Many of you already know that, but for anyone newer around here that wasn't aware, it's kind of become the flagship show here on the channel. Anyway, every week we do a show called Your Music Live. It's sponsored by these fine folks that I wear on my boobies, DistroKid, and we play independent music. So each week we do 2 hours of music, play about 30, 40 songs. We play 1 to 2 minutes of them. You get like a little sampler of the music, which is kind of cool. At the end of Songtember, though, we do a big Songtember version of Your Music Live where we play everyone's Songtember submissions. And again, we can't play the whole thing because it's I would be here for a long time. I think last year we had 78 songs, so we had to split it into 4-hour-long chunks. So we were here for like 4.5 hours playing everyone's songs. This year, however, Mark Bro, one of my Patreon members and a wonderful dude here in the chat, said, why don't you split it? Why don't you do it in 2 shows? And I thought, that's actually genius, because the problem has been in the past, if I do it at a time that's best for our US and UK folks, it's early morning for Australians and it's middle of the night for our UK and European friends. So we got 2 shows this year. We're doing one at the normal time and one 12 hours later at a time that's going to be much more appropriate for our friends in the UK, Europe, and Australia. So we'll do the 2 shows. You get your song showcased at the end. Now, you'll remember, Jade, I used to buy everyone's song back when iTunes was a real thing. The first 2 years of Songtember, I wanted to encourage people to do it because people weren't going to complete it. And I was trying to promote the old DistroKid. So I wanted people to get their music out there too. iTunes, because that was a big selling point back in these days. It's like you could get your music on iTunes and people can buy it for 99 cents. So I was like, we won't do that anymore because, again, 78 different songs. And who buys music? Who uses uses iTunes anymore, but yeah, that now it is all about Your Music Live. So you can see there's the two parts, the part 1 and the part 2. So they're coming up on, I believe it's the 7th of October. It's hard with dates, and it's also the first week of daylight saving time here in Australia, which, as Jade knows, is just our pain, because we go into daylight saving time and then you folks come out of it, but no one does it at the same time. So we go in, and then I think the UK comes out, and then a couple of weeks later the US comes out. So yeah, all the times. So keep an eye on it. It's a good reason to just subscribe to the channel, set your reminders, and you'll find out when they're actually doing it.
Mark says, can we submit a different song for each show, asking for a friend?
I am going to save my sanity and say one song per customer for this year, because otherwise we would be having, it would be a nightmare for me to work out which song and who's submitted what song to what show. And I think if we had 78 last year, if we have 100, that's 50 songs across 2 shows. That's already 2.5 to 3 hours per show of show. So yeah, if we open it up to people, and look, I know not many people would do it, so yeah, maybe if you're, shall I bribe it? If you're a Patreon member, then maybe we could talk. Maybe you get a second song on, or is that payola? Is that pay to play? I don't know. So yeah, we'll go with one for now, but it's a work in progress. We're all a work in progress.
I got 2 songs last year. Oh no, the year before I got 2 songs, because I did Utensils and I did Metheist.
Oh, did I play them both on YML though? That's
you did, yes. Wow. I looked. I was.
You must be
perusing.
Very special.
I know. I must be.
Well, so that's the thing. So Mark, just create another band name. So if you create another name for another artist, then technically it's not the same artist. Then you'll probably be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, but plus again, I don't want pressure. I don't want to put pressure on people to do. If you want to do a second song, that's great. But it can also, if I say, yeah, everyone do 2 songs and you can have one on each show, then yeah, it could. Plus the other show will be at like something like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning for our US friends and people in Canada. So feel free to either stay up or get up and watch it. Yeah, they are. So one's 12 hours later. So that's what we're doing. Yeah.
I thought you were doing it the day after. Oh, right.
Well, no.
Right.
So for us, Jade, it'll be 9 o'clock in the morning, your time, the usual time, and then 9 o'clock that night, we come back and we do the UK Europe one, which is during the day for our friends in the Europe and UK.
Yeah,
and
that's
Asia.
Cool. That's a good idea.
And evening for our Australian friends. So yes, we'll actually be on at night for once. So yeah, just to split it up, because I know people like SM Borthwick, like Mateusz, like a lot of our friends that are in the UK and in Ireland and in Europe. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning before the song would come on to YML, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's not perfect. So yeah, for just for Songtember, I thought we'd try something different and do the 2 band. And it may be a flop, but you know what? You got to try things in life, don't you? Maybe it'll sort of segment things out and it won't be as cool. But I don't know. I kind of think it'll be cool. Just twice as much fun.
I got this question during the week. Do I need to make a video clip for my song for Songtember?
No. Look, it's cool when you do, and I have before, and you have before. Like most often, the video sort of comes afterwards. And I know I did that with my song "Grown." I did like a basic lyric video, and then I did a full-on video like a month later. But no, that's where slaps.com's an easy place to share it. Has a little visualizer there, or SoundCloud, or just put it up. Funnily enough, I was trying to solve for this yesterday. So I tried 7 different, I typed in AI lyric video generator automated, because with all the things that we can do these days online, there is nothing that can just put a nice like visualizer, automatically get and subtitle your lyrics in a decent way, and then allow you to just share that as a video. So what I basically want is, what I did with Choices last year was I got an app called Visibel, which is a old Clev Grand app, and I used that for the little waveform visualizer and to put the album art in there, and then I threw that into LumaFusion and I put all of the subtitles in. But short of, like, there's nothing that can actually do the syncing of the music. Like, we seem to, captions are okay.
CapCut
can do it, but can do like each individual word, because that's what I couldn't find.
Yeah, CapCut's amazing, man. CapCut's the best.
All right, well, you can challenge me to do that, because I've never tried CapCut, and I did a
tutorial on it, Pete. Check it
I
out.
just want something that I don't even have to be involved. I just want to put the song there, a WAV file, and I want it to do everything. And I could not find that as a result. So I played around with a bunch of them, and they all got words wrong. They all got like the text was not in the right timing. And with a music lyric video, I think the timing of the text is the most important thing. So
CapCut's good.
every other year, I've just manually done it with LumaFusion. So there you go. I'll have to try CapCut. I just wanted a website that I could just upload a thing and say, can you do all of my work for? This is what AI should do.
Yeah,
not
CapCut's
the
really, really good. I love CapCut. It's not, as Thomas says, it's not 100%, but it's about 93%. It's pretty good. Have you seen, let's talk about this just on that kind of stuff, the new YouTube video creation app that's just dropped on beta for Android, and it's coming on iOS.
Is it AI?
It's got a bit of AI in it. So basically, it's like the tools that you get on IG and all that. It has lyrics. It's really good. It looks really good. I'm going to be on the beta for iOS, so I'll do a show on it. And it looks really good. And it can do it not only portrait, but wide as well. So
Well, that's what we need because today, like the one thing that does it really well is Instagram. So
This is better.
Subtitling engine is, well, YouTube didn't have any apart from the auto subs that go on a video after you've actually uploaded it. But yeah, like we just need, because they have the technology, like AI is actually really good at doing that if it's got the right algorithm there. So that so far the Meta one's the best one I've found, which I hate saying. It makes me feel dirty to say that Meta do something better than anyone. But yeah, I think that's where YouTube need to catch up because especially with the widescreen, because there's a bunch of stuff that can do it with the up and down, the portrait mode. But yeah, oh, there he is, Justin Brown.
yes, it's called YouTube Create.
YouTube Create.
Yes.
So yeah,
So only available on Android at the moment, but the next 2 weeks I think it's dropping in beta for iOS.
nice.
And it's good. Like it looks really good. It looks very simple to use. It looks like they've stolen all the ideas from CapCut, basically.
And that's what we need because when you're putting it to YouTube, again, the less things, the less bits that can be in between what you do. Like in a perfect world, all the stuff that we do, and again, people could say, but then the stuff that you and Jade do with all your editing, it's like, I don't know about you, Jade, but editing's the worst part. Like if I could have something that could help me with editing and subtitling and putting graphics on and logos and things, that's all really clunky. And yes, look, it's fun to hand code it and have complete control over it, but sometimes you want speed over effort and like you want it to be 90%, as Thomas was saying before. Like, yeah, if you have to tweak it a bit, that's cool. But yeah, if you can do it 10% of the time and it's 90% as good, sometimes that's kind of what you want when you're doing a lot of stuff. So yeah.
I do believe that that kind of lyric editing generation is coming to LumaFusion at some point.
I'd hope so because it's
I've
very
heard
behind with that.
I've heard it on the grapevine.
It has to, if they want to be relevant, if they want to
Yeah.
keep up with the likes of CapCut and the likes of Insta and TikTok, even using the video editor in TikTok, I'm like, TikTok is better than what we have in YouTube
Yes.
right now,
Yep.
like much better. And that's a bit sad that YouTube have been left behind. So that is good news. Yeah, as usual, my ear is definitely not to the ground, and I'm not up to date with all the latest stuff. Did you hear Oasis are getting back together? Sorry, just joking.
Awesome. I can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome. You know
Two
what?
moaning mongrels that we didn't really want to hear come back. Like,
That's going to
we're
end
back, we
really
are,
positively, isn't it? It just feels
Oh.
like it's going to end really positively. There's going to be no problems at all whatsoever. You know what I can't see happening? A gig getting cancelled due to some kind of dispute between the band members. That would never happen. It's all going to go sunshine and lollipops. Not a problem in the world. They're the most, reliable band out there. Because a leopard always changes its spots.
Absolutely. And they've proven that they've grown up and they've proven
Yep.
that they've gotten past all of their petty ways that they've had in the past. It's going to be absolutely awesome.
Let's play our last song for the day. Hello, Robert Redmond's Clip Channel. This is a song I picked. It's by our friend Gazza Hubs. Hardworking Gary Hubs. He's killing it.
Yeah.
He's doing live streams every weekend. It's, he's had some dramas doing it. Very entertaining stuff. Gary's super talented. He's been a long time, supporter of both our channels, and he just when he releases stuff, it's really good. And this was his song from last year with Hetriani, two of them together making great metal. This is Pitchfork from last year's Songtember. Let's Soge, my friends. Boom.
Whoop, whoop.
Awesome stuff. Gary Hubbs, Hetriani.
And you know what? Listening to that and Jamie's song, you can hear and you can feel the effort that they've put into it. You can hear it. It sounds handcrafted. You're not making that in a day, and that's kind of the point. Again, instead of me rabbiting on for 10 minutes about this point, we should have just played those two songs and said, "This is what happens when you take the care and you take the month to create something," because just the songwriting, the mixing, the effects, the mastering, like everything just came together so well in both of those songs. And you could tell that, yeah, a human created that for other humans to listen to. So, yeah, kudos to those two.
Totally. Thank you, Mr. Smith, for the gifted sub. And I just gave away 5 as well.
Thank you to you for gifting yourself.
I forget that we get 10 a month to give away. I always
Do we
forget.
actually?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so I got to get the others out before the end of the month. So it is what it is.
That.
Now, talking to video clips, I need to make a quick announcement. So last year, and we're going to end on my song from Songtember last year,
Yeah.
And I had all these big plans to make a video clip last year, and I started doing it, and it all kind of fell apart because shit gets in the way when you run a YouTube channel. Well, the good news is I've actually been working on that video clip a lot lately, and it's part of the reason I got new lights. I have these great cameras now, which I use to film Walk With Me. And that video clip is very close to being finished with all the costumes and all the clowns and stuff. And it should be released at the end of SONGTEMBER, just as an I'm not going to be submitting it, of course, but
I wouldn't allow it.
that
Against the
should be
rules.
done. It's very exciting because I was really I think I spent $500-600 on costumes for that video clip, and it never happened. But so there's an update on that.
Very good.
Wow, we are at the end. What have you got coming up for SONGTEMBER to get people's juices flowing? Then I'll run through what I've got for my schedule for September as well, Pete.
Yeah, what haven't I got coming up? So, we're doing this is the pre-show, then we got the pre-show, then the pre-show. No, so tomorrow, you can tune in. We're doing a hangout just for an hour or two to prepare. So that's what we talked about earlier, where I'll be cleaning the slate, getting everything ready and preened for that. And if you're a Patreon of mine, check your inbox because I've invited you to drop by if you would like to. So if you'd like to drop on, we've got a couple of folks who have said that they'll be dropping in already. So if you would like to, and you are already a Patreon member of mine, check your Patreon or your email for the details of that one. And if you are not, come along and you'll hear not only from me and about my preparation, but perhaps from some other folks as well that are SONGTEMBER veterans. And speaking of SONGTEMBER veterans, the following day, in 2 days' time from now, in just under 48 hours, we will be doing the official launch. And I'm not doing it alone. I've invited a couple of familiar faces along to do the launching with me. So that is these two larrikins, Thomas Christ and Jade Starr. So we'll be kicking it off. That'll be an hour-long show where we will go through Thomas and Jade's tips. So we haven't heard. You might have noticed Jade has been keeping a little quiet about exactly her experience in the past and some of her tips and tricks and things for SONGTEMBER. So she'll be sharing those, and Thomas will be sharing his previous experiences and advice for what we can do this year. And then we drop the flag because it'll be the morning of your birthday. It'll be the early morning of the September the 1st for us here in Australia, and it'll be August 31st for those in other parts of the world. So you can get started with that. So so we've got the hangout, and then we've got the launch. And then we're away, and then we're doing our thing. So, again, studiolive.today.com/SONGTEMBER is the place to go. That has the link to the playlist, and everything will be added in there. And then you're just going to have to be on your toes because throughout SONGTEMBER, we do some live shows. I incorporate it into GarageBand Weekly, some of the songwriting and some of the recording that we do. So we'll be doing that in this week's GB Weekly show. And then there'll be some pre-recorded stuff. There'll be some on-location stuff, and there'll be some random lives going on. If you're a patron or a member of the channel, we'll be doing some extra stuff as well. So you'll see some of those studio hour shows that sort of will get chopped up and put into shorter videos for the regular audience, the regular audience, the people that choose to support me in other ways. But yeah, if you want access to that, you can become a patron or a member of the channel, and that's about it. So yeah, studiolivetoday.com/SONGTEMBER has everything you need and probably more.
Indeed. So, yes, I'm joining you on the launch. I'm very excited about that. And my kickoff is the day after. So the rant will be replaced with a kickoff show this week. Still a rant because I'll be ranting, but I will be going through my plans for what song I'm doing. During the month of SONGTEMBER, I can let you know because now all my tutorials are pre-recorded. I have every day free for live streaming and sharing my process. Some of the videos I'll be walking around and talking about my process, working on songs outside. I'm going to take the iPad outside and get in nature and do some stuff that way. I'm going to be, because I'm doing a collaboration this year with somebody. So that's going to be new because I'm shit at collaborations. I'm the worst. So yeah, there'll be plenty of content each day on SONGTEMBER. I'm hoping to get mine finished a lot earlier this week because I want to do a video clip. And that's another reason why I changed the channel up, Pete, and doing pre-record. So I've got the live streams to just faff around.
It is fun. It is interesting to just kind of not have a plan. The plan is to not have a
Yes.
plan and just to go with it, because that's when some of those weird little happy accidents, as Bob Ross would say, can happen with your creative processes. So, yeah, that sounds like it's going to be fun times for you. And yeah, don't forget Thomas Christ and Leela and Jamie and a lot of other folks will be doing the Songtember thing, and I'll make sure that I link to all of those. And again, there's the Facebook group, Create, Record, Release. There's Slaps that you can share things on. There's a Discord server that I very rarely go to anymore because I don't understand Discord very much, but there's plenty of ways to be in touch, and you can of course use the comments sections here, or be a patron of me or Jade, or just be involved, just hang out and have a good time. It's going to be a rad old month, if I do say so myself.
Even if you decide not to make a song this year,
Sure.
don't panic about it. You know, it's okay to take some time off if it's okay.
Yeah, we've already had some folks that have already shared that they're not participating, and to that I say, good, choose you. Like, that's the thing. At the end of the day, this is supposed to be a fun, positive, happy thing. If you don't have the mental or physical time or space for it this year, that's cool too. But maybe just come and hang out with us. You'll be able to see our processes and hopefully not get too much FOMO if you're not doing it yourself. But then, hey, guess what? You can have a Rocktober or an Epic Vember or an
that
AC
failed.
December.
I'm not doing Rocktober ever again. That failed.
If
You
it
know
was,
what? In all fairness, I did do it way too late and didn't have any preparation. And, there's already, you know me, I always bite way too much off than I can chew, and I end up vomiting everywhere all over myself.
keep it simple, sucker.
I know. All right, we are out of here. Thank you for hanging out with us today and giving us your precious eyes on this product. Keep your eyes open for everything else, and go and keep supporting everybody else, because you know what? There's going to be other channels playing all these songs as well. Hippie's going to be playing these songs. Thomas is going to be playing all these songs. I'm sure Chad will be playing them. There's heaps of people who'll be playing your songs as well out of this. It just means more content and more great music, and you getting better, and that's what we love. We're gonna go out with my song from last year. Hey, I just want to say this too. Really good to see you, Chainsaw Charlie, and I might send you a message after this. But we're going to go out from my song from last year, Songtember, and let me tell you a little bit about this song. When I decided to do this song, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try and put every style of music into one song for about 4 minutes. And it was a really good idea until I started working on this song. And it was like, fuck, this song is really fucking hard. And then when it was finished, it was like, I'm never doing that ever again. I like Mr. Bungle, but I'll never be as good as them. So we'll leave it at that. So this is my other project, Utensils. The DreadCircus. Is there anything you would like to say before we get the hell out of here, Pete?
No, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who was here, for all of your support, for all of your likes. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, because the thumbs up button down below. And yeah, we will see you in Songtember.
Do the things that make you happy, folks. Mistakes make you better. We'll all rise together, stay awake, and let's oge. This is Utensils, the DreadCircus from last year's Songtember. And we'll see you around. Let's
Always.
Oja.
Shut up! Listen to me! I can make all your dreams come true. Listen to me! What you say? Don't you fucking look at me! In the victim of your nightmares, hold my hand, please don't be so scared. Don't you fucking look at me! Welcome to the DreadCircus. Now it's time to say goodbye. Laughing as I watch you die.
In the car, driving over them.
Shut up. It's Daddy, you shithead. Where's my bourbon?